This is the Southern Punisher Big Country, and you're watching Hashtag Truth with Scott.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. Tonight, we have the one, the only, Arthur Snelson. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I can't complain. If I did, somebody else tell me to shut the hell up.
I like it. I like it. So, tell me, sir, you were a ref back in the day. Tell me how long you were reffing, some of the places you reffed at.
Well, I've reffed at TCW, and the promoter for that is Mr. Tim Toller. SWA, NAWA. I've done a lot with the Reimer Cup, which is an awesome family. Tim Toller's an awesome promoter. TCW is an awesome show. NAWA, that was when Chad Bird, the guy that trained me, he was running the show out of Lenore. So, and I've been pretty much all over the South. If anybody would book me, I'd show up and go to 3.
Man, that's awesome, man. I've got to ask. I ask all the referees this because the referees know better than the wrestlers most of the time. What is the craziest thing you have ever seen in a wrestling ring, brother? Tell me a story about the craziest thing you ever saw being in the ring as a referee at a show.
The craziest thing, when a heel walked out from the back, and this little old lady jumped up and started hitting one of the workers with her cane.
She just out of the blue started hitting him with a cane.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention any shows that I was a part of or where I was at, but
right.
I actually started walking out the back, and the dude that he was standing there, and he had a shotgun waiting on me because I counted out his favorite wrestler. So, yeah,
he had a loaded shotgun waiting for you out in the parking lot because you counted out his favorite wrestler.
I don't know if it was loaded. I didn't give him time to ask. So I just seen him sitting there, and whenever I walked out the back, he stood up and I slammed the door. So
wow.
I didn't ask. So if it's loaded, I don't know. I wasn't going to hang around to find out.
Right, no doubt. What's going on, Alex? How are you doing? Alex says, "What's up?"
What's going on, buddy?
He says, "How y'all been?"
Dodging storms.
Yeah, that's it, man. So everybody, I will put that warning out right now. In my area, in Arthur's area, there are storms going on. So if this automatically gets cut off, it's because one of two things happened. The storm got to us or the electricity went out. It's going to be one of the two. Hopefully we'll go all the way through it and everything will be fine. But just to let you know, if that does happen, Arthur, I will have you back on the show at a later date, man. We will
man, just let me know.
But right now, everything seems to be going good, and I'm enjoying the conversation, man. So an old lady beat a wrestler with her cane. Did they drag the old lady out? How did they separate them?
Well, actually, there wasn't no separations because nobody wanted to actually mess with her because she was very dangerous. The guy just sort of kind of went toward the ring to where she couldn't reach him with the cane. He got away from her. She never crossed the barricade or anything like that, but which was a good thing. So he sort of kind of come closer to the ring, and I'm standing there saying, "Dude, you just got your rear end whooped by a 75-year-old woman."
And then had to turn around and do a match and get whooped again, right?
Oh no, he done the match, and it was sort of kind of. I mean, he won, but it just angered him a little bit more.
Oh, wow, man.
So
So, so how far is the furthest you've ever traveled to referee a match from your house?
From my house, I've been to Tampa.
Woo, that's a pretty good drive, or if you flew or however you got there.
No, I don't fly. No. There ain't no
airplanes.
There ain't no wings on my backside.
I heard that. Alex said his power is out. A tree fell. So, man, I hope everybody out there is doing well. So how long did you referee? You're no longer in the business, correct?
No, but I do keep up with it.
Okay. So how long did you ref?
Ref or actually in the business?
In the business. We'll put the whole thing together. In the business.
All together in the business. God, that making me think. Let's just say a long time.
so you don't look like you're that old. So what got you
to
get out of
I'm 42 years old. I'm 42 years old. I've been.
That's pretty young for a referee. So what got you out of the business?
It was just health issues. I was planning on getting back into the business, and then I was at work and tore my shoulder in pieces, and had to have surgery. And the doctor pretty much looked at me and said, "Not going to happen."
Oh wow!
So
sorry to hear about that.
But I still love the business. I still love watching the business and being a part of it.
So you say you're part of it outside of does that mean you just frequent shows, or do you actually help a business like run?
No, I'm hoping to actually start not really a training school. I've got somebody that is willing to help me back up. He's a worker. He's going to start training the workers, and I'm just going to work with the refs.
Okay, awesome, man. Love to hear that. See, that's what I love to hear is people like you who have been in the business for some reason. They had to get out, but they're giving back to the business, man. I love to hear that.
Everybody's got to give back to something.
Yeah,
everybody's got to give back to something.
That's it. I'm not even going to ask that question. He asks that question to everybody, every ref that comes on. I'm going to ask it anyway. It's kind of funny. Jim Morg wants to know, did you referee the Battle Royal when Jim Jabrowski pooped his pants?
No, but I did run a show where James Drake pooped his pants.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you got to tell that story.
It was him and Super Law, and it was a three-way match. I can't remember the third person. It was a benefit show, and they was working a match, and something happened, and James Drake walked in the back and said, "I my pants." And so,
goodness. That's crazy. That is crazy. Who's the gentleman standing behind you?
Well, I'm going to let him introduce himself here.
Okay.
This is the Ego, Marshall Simmons, World Heavyweight Champion.
For the Millennium Wrestling Federation, correct?
That's right. You got it right.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I've been doing this for right at 17 years. I've been pretty much everywhere. And now I am part of the Millennium Wrestling Federation, and I am the heavyweight champion. And we put a show on every 2 weeks at 508 Howard Creek Pool Road.
So who did you beat to become the Millennium Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion?
I beat a guy by the name of Ray Hansen, and he plays a Viking gimmick because apparently, come up to the current world. So that's why I stand here as the heavyweight champion.
So because he plays a Viking, he's not up with the current world, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what this guy. He's probably living in a cave counting his rocks somewhere.
Don't Vikings go on ships though? Aren't they ship people?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really keep up with them.
So what's your gimmick, man? What do? You just go in there and beat people down and win championships?
That's right, because in the wrestling business, you have to have an ego. Everybody has an ego. If you don't, you need to get out. I just happen to be the best one out.
There's plenty of egos in professional wrestling, brother. There's plenty of those. Trust you me. Some are bigger than others, man. Some need to be knocked down a peg or two, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt, man. So tell me, who is your? Do you already know who your next opponent is up there in Millennium, or?
Oh yeah, the next opponent will be really cool.
Your phone kind of died out. Say the name again.
He thinks he's really cool, but I think he's really dumb. Black and yellow. It's.
You're gonna have to say the name for me, brother. Like you glitched out.
I just watch it. See, you got me. See, my reffing days ain't over with. I gotta hold this guy back a little bit. It's always a reffing show in my life. That's just the way it is. I gotta hold him back, keep him under control. Sort of, kind of. That way, he can hold his own ego.
So Arthur, tell me, why aren't you the man's ref? The ref. Listen to me. I'm saying, why aren't you his ref? Why aren't you his manager? This thing's got me all.
Well, I mean, I'm not much of a manager type thing.
It sounded like you did great just now, man. You got in there. You said, "I got to hold him back. I got to hold him back. I got to," Sounded like you were being his mouthpiece, man.
Well, if I'm going to manage, I'm going to manage like Jim Cornette, just like I try to. Whenever I was reffing, I ref like Tommy Young. So.
Oh, okay. So if you manage, you're going to manage by bringing an object to the ring and beating people down when the ref turns his back, right?
Well, yeah.
That's the only way to play the game, right?
Yes, sir. No, but I will say this: if anybody's in Lincoln and this show is running, MWF. Go see it. They've got flyers all over the place. Live on YouTube. You can go to NWF Live on YouTube and see some of these guys.
Have Ego send me the poster, brother. I'll be more than happy to put the poster up on my website, and if he'll send me the poster, I'll put it on the next #Truth also.
Yeah, he just told me he will.
All right, man. I'll definitely do that. I'll even pump him up on there because I'm pretty sure if he's the champ, he should be on the poster, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, there you go. So more publicity, man. I love it.
Yeah, we've got to give back.
Oh, without a doubt, man. That's the way the game is played. So let me ask you something, man, because you seem like a old school kind of guy. Who'd you grow up watching in wrestling, man? When was the first time you saw wrestling and went, man, that's something I got to get into?
Honestly, it was when Dirty Dick and Dusty Rhodes was wrestling. And it was right before they split. And Dusty moved from Florida up this way to go with NWA, and I watched Dusty. I'm a huge Dusty Rhodes mark. There's nobody any better than Dusty Rhodes in my book. So, I know I've seen old tapings of Bobo Brazil,
right? Junkyard
Dog.
JYD, man, good wrestler.
Yeah, and all of us lost somebody today. Mr. Harley Race, the King, passed away today.
Right.
So,
he was just before my time. I think when he got out of wrestling it was like shortly after that I started watching wrestling. So But I've seen old matches of his, and man, he was one of the best.
So I mean, I go all the way back.
I think Jim Morg. I think this was more. I think he typed this in when Ego was standing there, but he said he would love to see Devin Lee get a shot at the MWF title.
Well, I'm going to let Ego answer that one.
All right.
He wants a shot at the MWF title?
Jim Morg said he would love to see Devin Lee get a shot at the MWF title. What do you think about that?
Bring it on. I'm here for any and everybody. I am the MWF champion, and I prove it time in and time again.
So how long have you been the champ?
I won this title a month ago, and I've been the champ ever since. And not Hanson, not Willie Cool, not anybody has been able to take it from me. And the way I see it, it's going to stay that way. So, Devin Lee, you want to step up to the champ? Bring it on.
Well, there you go.
Ask him this question for me. Ask him, does he defend it every show? Is he a fighting champion?
Yes, I am a fighting champion.
He said yes.
Why would I not be a fighting champion? The ego is on the line.
Because there's some guys out there. There are some wrestlers out there, and I'm pretty sure you know a few, that when they get the championship, man, they run that, depending on the promotion, it's every 30 days or every 60 days. They'll hold it all the way until the end of that before they defend it. You know it.
Oh yeah, I know that. That ain't me. I'm ready to go anytime, anywhere.
I'm glad to hear that, man. Jim Morg said you earned your title, brother.
I appreciate that, Jim Morg.
He also said,
go ahead.
Yeah, he does.
He can hear you. Ego can hear everybody.
Ego's definitely got the right name, brother. I'll give him that. He's got the right name for himself. He's definitely not short on ego. That is for sure. So, man, what's in the future for Arthur Snelson, man? Tell me what's going to go on in the future. You said you're going to help somebody do a school. Is there a chance for you to get back in the ring in the future, or maybe, or is this school thing going to be what you're going to put your heart and soul into?
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd love to get back in the ring, because there's then the sound of that crowd whenever you're in the ring, whether it's booing you or cheering you. I miss that feeling, but I don't see me getting back in the ring. What is the one match that sticks out in your head that you were a referee and that you'll never forget? I would have to say the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh man.
Well, there's several. There's the Rock and Roll Express. There's Adam James and the Barbarian. Abel Adams and Crucifix. I'll never forget a match that I'm in. I just can't forget it, because each match is a part of me, no matter what goes on.
What has there ever been a match in your career where you wish you weren't the referee in it? You were just like, oh my God, why am I here?
Yes, a street fight match that had no storyline to it. They just, it just popped up on the show, and there was no storyline to it.
Have you ever had any beef with one of the wrestlers? I mean, a real beef where you didn't want to get in the ring and ref any of his matches? Have you ever come across that? No?
No, everybody I've ever gotten a ring with has been professional toward me, and I've been professional toward them. What beef we had was it's in the locker room. once we come out of them
Right.
curtains and stepped in the ring, beef was gone. It was all about that crowd.
There you go. I like that answer, man. That's awesome. So give me a ballpark figure. How many matches do you think you've reffed in your career?
Just a ballpark figure. I may be wrong on this, and I'm gonna put it over 200.
Over 200.
Easy.
That's
easy.
That's a lot of experience in the ring as a referee, man. That is. Have you ever had a storyline going and you accidentally forgot what you had to do in the ring, or had a botch in the ring where you were supposed to maybe count 3 and forgot to, or you went down to count 3 and the guy kicked out when he was not supposed to? Did you ever have anything like that where you had to ad-lib the end of a match?
Oh yeah. I've actually reffed at a Rymer Cup, and they done a spot, and the guy was down. It was a finishing move, and it all happened. But the guy that I was supposed to pin, his arm was up and underneath the rope. Well, that was the finish, and that was supposed to be the end of the match. And I stopped it too, and I looked at him and I said, his arm's underneath the rope. Get him in the center of the ring. And that wrestler was, oh my Lord, he was mad as all get out. He looked at me and he says, well, that's the finisher. I said, well, then do your job and finish him. Just do it in the center of the ring.
See that, man? That's crazy. I mean, I've heard so many stories that refs have told me about being in the ring and they want you to forget the rules for some reason, like like you're supposed to turn away from something like that. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's arm is blatantly under the rope and you count 3, that makes you look stupid. I mean,
thank you. Yes, sir. I mean, I've had several where, they'd say, count. And I'm like, well, put his shoulders to the mat. Well, they are. No, this ain't. If I can stick my hand underneath your shoulder, my hand ain't going down. I'm not going to count you out.
Right.
I mean,
Have you ever had a wrestler get in your face after a match when you went back through the curtain?
No. Not that I know of.
Wesley, okay, I don't know. Wesley must be in a good mood. Wesley saying, who are these people? Wesley, this is Arthur Snelson. He is a referee, a longtime referee in the business. If you don't know who he is, you're coming in late. 7:00 time, man. You do know how to read a clock, right, Wesley? I give him a hard time. I know Wesley very well, so maybe
he needs to get one. Maybe he needs to get one of them watches that's got the big bowl. One of them bling bling watches.
He needs to set the alarm for 7:00. That way he knows when #truth is on, man. If he got here early, you know exactly who you are, right?
That's right.
See, not only that, Wesley, but you missed Ego, the MWF heavyweight champ, has already been on the show too. You see, you missed 2 things. You missed the big surprise, man. That's what happens when you come in late. So I don't hear Ego, so he can't be anywhere in the vicinity.
Oh, I got him under control.
Oh, okay. You got him tied off and put in a closet somewhere, huh?
No, that's his wife's job. I don't do that.
I ain't going there, brother. I ain't going there. This wall's too thin. I
know. Happy wife, happy life there, brother.
That's it. That's exactly how it is, man. And that's inside wrestling and outside wrestling.
Yes, sir.
No doubt about it, man. So, oh man, we went through the crazy matches. I'm running out of questions, man.
Well, I mean, let's
tell me a story, man. Tell me one of the wildest things you've seen in wrestling. Tell me a story that happened to you that is just you.
Well, I was a part of a show where Barbarian wanted to do a what he calls a tweet.
Okay.
You know, this is still a PG show, brother.
No, it's not. This is uncut and uncensored. You can say what you want, man. Uh-oh.
Fucker. In where he bashed the dude's head in because he missed the spot. So,
oh, no.
yeah. You don't do that.
So he gave him the big time receipt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. No.
You know, you get guys that knows what they're doing, and you miss a spot, and you're not listening. Yeah, you're gonna see tweet, one way or the other.
Oh my goodness. Alex wants to know if you have any advice for a heel.
Yeah, put the baby over.
Yeah, put the baby over. I mean, baby faces. You know, seriously.
In the house. I heard that one.
Yeah, put the baby face over. Get heat. You know, you're there to be hated.
Brandy Davis says ego rules.
Smart lady.
Uh-oh. Somebody knows Brandy Davis. Who's Brandy Davis?
That's Ego's wife.
Oh, okay. Now, Brandy, what would have been really cool is if you would have put something bad about him on there. That would have been funny.
I hope to God she didn't hear that.
She did.
Hey, Brandy, tell us a story about Ego that he wouldn't want to say on hashtag truth.
She's standing there shaking her head. She said no.
Gotta have a little fun.
See, that's why I love your channel, man. This is all about fun.
Right? Jim Morg said Devin Lee is coming for Ego's MWF title and his butt. Whoa, that's getting deep.
Well,
we'll let him read it. It's right there on the screen, brother. It says Devin Lee is coming for Ego's MWF title and his butt.
Bring it on, buddy. I hope you don't bite off more than you can chew. I've been doing this a long time. I hope you have.
Show the belt, man. Show the belt.
If you want to take this right here, this world heavyweight title, you better bring it. And I don't think you got what it takes. But if you think you got what it takes, meet me in the ring. Name the place. Meet me in the ring.
While you're still on the camera, whoa, take him back. Put him back. While you're still on the camera, read the bottom of the screen. Brandy said, truthfully, he sucks, but I had to give him some praise.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Got Brandy in trouble.
Hey, here's the thing. You never know when, a certain ref just might slide in the ring.
Oh, there you go. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Come in the ring.
So I'm just saying.
Come in and help Ego. Now, if Ego's the man he says he is, he don't need no help, Arthur.
I may not even be in there to help Ego. I might have to slide in there to help the other guy.
Uh-oh.
I told you, if I'm going to manage anybody, just in case, it's going to be Cornette style.
Deanna Snelson said, best ref ever.
Well,
and she also said that Ego sucks too.
It's a family thing, brother.
I know. I can tell. It's good though. It's
I got another nephew right here.
Man. What's going on, man? How's everybody doing?
I got Ego's son right here.
What's going on, man? You ain't got an ego like your daddy, right?
Say, yep.
Yeah? You're just as good? Are you going to be a wrestler when you get older?
Say, tell him, I'm going to be better.
Are you going to beat up your daddy when you get older?
Better than...
You going to be better?
Say, yep.
So when you
Yep,
get
and
older, if he's got a title, you're going to take it from him, right?
yes, and I've kicked his butts millions of times, so I got it.
Oh, so you're his trainer. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes.
Oh, there. You heard it first right here on Hashtag Truth, man. I love it. I love it.
Leland, the MWF rules.
MWF rules.
Yes, it does, man. Yes, it does. Plug it, brother. Well,
So yeah, that's what I love about wrestling, man. You can add your family into it and have fun with it. You know, forget all about the bills and just enjoy yourself.
Brandy
If it's
says
done right.
hashtag best wives ever. There you go.
Well, we
Deanna
got to have somebody promote us.
That's right. Deanna said family tradition. I like that. The Bassmaster on Hashtag Truth said, hey, Scott and Arthur. What you doing, brother?
What's going on, buddy?
Uh-oh, Jamie Knight is on Hashtag Truth. How you doing, Jamie? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Jamie?
Boy, we're getting all the wrestlers coming back on Hashtag tonight. The storm must be blowing over. I like it. I like it. We're here with Arthur Snelson. We're here with Ego, the MWF heavyweight champion, all the wives, the whole family. We're having a great time here on Hashtag Truth, man. We even have Ego's son, his trainer, on here. The whole 9 yards.
Good.
Speaking of wives, that's my wife's hand that y'all just saw. I told you she could hear over this wall. Oh, man. If y'all got any questions for Arthur, for Ego, the MWF champion, for the family, anything.
Oh, hey, yeah, there we go.
And we also, see, everybody shows
Hey,
up for
Fozzie.
Hashtag Truth. What's going on, Fozzie?
Yeah. Hey, Fozzie. Ego looked at me and said, Fozzie. Yeah, look at here.
That is the MWF
Fozzie.
heavyweight champion. Meet Fozzie.
What's up, Fozzie?
He's saying hi to you. Here, let me take off my headset so everybody can get in on the conversation.
Hi. Hi.
What's up?
You got to speak up.
Hi, dude.
She can't get that high, but she's trying to say hi to you. Or I'm sorry, he. Trying to find a place to put my headphones. I got big ears. The whole family, man. We're just gonna make this a family show tonight. Let's do it.
There you go.
Bo Jackson even said it. Look, let's do it. Let's make it a family show tonight.
Shoot ya.
Bo Jackson want to go live one night. Hey, if Bo wants to come on one night, I'd love to have him. Why not? Look at my walls. We're tearing the walls down here on Hashtag Truth. Look at this.
There we go.
Having a good
We'll do
old
Chris
time.
Jericho. We'll break the walls down.
That's it. I like to play the theme music. Don't forget Arthur's son. Yes, Arthur's son.
Yeah. Well, he's gone. Watch him run.
He took off down Bye, Arthur's son.
He's gone.
We'll see you later. All I saw was elbows, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. Jim Morg says I have.
Yeah, he's gone.
Brother, you got a family right here on Hashtag Truth, man. There you go.
There you go. Get on here. We just call this Hashtag Truth the Love Boat.
Jack Morgan says, how long is the best 3 count?
1, 2, 3.
Just like that. 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm talking about. Now,
No hesitation.
Have you ever played a heel referee? Have you ever been in a storyline where you had to slow count or fast count for a bad guy? Or
No, not really. I've been offered to know. You know, everybody I've ever read, knew how I counted, and I didn't want that rhythm broke. Because if a ref breaks that rhythm, and you've refed for this guy 2 or 3 times, and he knows when to kick out if he needs to, and that lets you know when to stop your count.
Okay, that makes sense. Jacob Mull wants to know who's your favorite indie wrestler other than Ego.
My favorite indie wrestler, all of them. I mean, you can't pick just one. You know, these guys go up and down the road.
I can. I'm a fan, though. I'm not in the business, so I can understand.
Well, I mean, you got to understand, and Scott, sometimes getting on this road, it's negotiating. There's a lot of these guys, they leave on a Thursday, and you don't see them until that Sunday night.
Right.
If you're out there and you're pounding and grounding and you're busting these streets up, all props to you.
Right. No doubt. I have respect. I have respect for all of them, but I'm always going to have my favorites. I'm not going to lie to you. Of course, I'm a fan. I haven't been in the business. I've never worked beside these guys. I've never had to work with them in the ring. So, being a fan and always a fan, sometimes you have your favorites. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it wouldn't be wrestling if you didn't. Because watch this. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Dusty Rhodes.
See? So even though you can't pick an indie, and you pick Dusty Rhodes probably because you never reffed a match with him, right?
Right.
There you go.
But, I mean, it is what it is. Either way it goes, even Dusty had to start out like that.
Jack Morgan said the best count is a total of 4 seconds. He said when he started reffing. I think that's what he means. Jack Morgan was before he started reffing. I'm going to start all the way back over. Jack Morgan was a referee before he became a wrestler. There you go. I'll spit it out eventually.
Okay. He was being trained to work, right?
Correct.
Okay, but he had to be a ref first. Right?
I don't know if he had to be, but I think that's what he chose.
No, you have to be, because you got to understand all the measurements of the ring, this, that, and the other. I mean, you just got to learn the ring.
So give me some of the pointers of a referee that a normal fan wouldn't know. Tell me something that I wouldn't be looking for that a ref has to look for. Don't give away all the secrets. Give me one thing.
Oh, I'll tell you all of them.
Okay.
You check the turnbuckle, you check the ropes, and how you do that, guess what? You got to be there to put the ring up, and you got to stay behind the shoulder to take the ring down. You've got to learn every inch, every step of that ring, because them guys that are getting in that ring, you're the very first guy in that ring. So you've got to inspect that ring. If the ring has a hole on the mat, on the canvas, you've got to let them know without letting the fans know. Normally, whenever I do that, they'd come in, I'd put one worker over here in this corner, corner to corner, and as I'm checking them, I'm letting them know, hey, I'm going to walk over here. There's a little dip in the mat right here. I'm going to wipe my feet over it. And I tell each and every one of them, watch that spot, or, this rope's loose, or this or the out of it. It's tight, but be careful with it. And that's basically
totally agreeing with you, by the way.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. A ref's job is in there not only to do his job, but make sure that these guys are safe.
Right. Yeah. I that's. How many times during a match would you say that you secretly tell wrestlers something on average?
Every time. Every match.
No, I'm saying how many times during a match would you say? Give a figure. How many times do you say something on average in a wrestler's ear during a match? Let's say two wrestlers have a 10-minute match. In 10 minutes, how many times would you say so? On average, how many times would you whisper something in a wrestler's ear?
Mentally, I didn't. I let them do their thing. Now, if they was on I'd touch their hand and say, squeeze my hand if you're good. And once they squeezed it, I let them go. I've had where they'd lost the crowd, and I'd say, guys, the crowd's dead. Let's just bring it home. As far as me talking to them, no, I just listened to what they was talking to. I listen and let them do their thing.
Now I've heard this about a ref. I've had a couple of refs tell me this also. Have you ever had a booker come up to you and say, "Hey, I've got two guys that are really young. I want you to call the match in the ring"? Have you ever done that?
I've had a booker tell me, and I've turned them down. I said, I'm not reffing it.
Okay. I mean, everybody does things differently. Nobody can get mad at you. I mean, that's your style of reffing. I mean, that's great. But I've heard, stories of two guys, being, I used the word green as being young or whatever, but, I've heard them say that they had to go in there and tell them basically every move to do, when to end it. Like you said, okay, we've had enough, pull a finish, and bam, the 3 count went off. But
I have had guys come up to me
who said, and I've had referees who said, the job of a ref is to be seen and not involved. So that's more your style, correct?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer. I've had guys come up to me and say, "Hey man, do you know they TNA guys?" And I'd look at them and say, "Yeah." And they say, "Well, what's the finisher?" I say, "I count to 3." Then I walk away from them. I mean, if I don't have to take a bump, if I don't have to take a bump or anything like that, I don't need to know what's going on in that ring. All I need to know is how to count to 3. I mean, point blank. Because the way I look at it, if my hand goes down for that 3 count, regardless if you're supposed to win or lose, the match is over.
Right.
Period.
Have you ever had a bump in the ring? An instance where a wrestler was supposed to like run you into the corner to knock you out or whatever. Have you ever had a bump that went wrong where you actually got injured?
No, sir. Not one time.
That's good. That's good to hear. That's very rare though for a ref, you'd have to admit.
Dude, I took a splash from Big Country in the corner at a SWA show.
You took a splash from Big Country and lived to tell about it?
Yeah, he come running in that corner. And I thought, oh God, I'm going to die. Love you, Country, but dang, dude, you're a big dude.
Ooh, man. He's been working out, losing weight, and gaining muscle mass, man. He's going to be a whole different Big Country in a year or two, man.
I hope so. He had a lot of health issues, and Country's good. He knows what he's doing.
He's one of the best, man.
Yes, sir.
Good wrestler, all around human being, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
Man.
Oh, I love Country. His heart's bigger than he is.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Have you ever I think I've asked this before, but in a different way, but have you ever had a wrestler you just refused to get in the ring to referee totally? I mean, there's always, like we talked about before, there's always egos in wrestling, man. And sometimes they can't even be professional when they come through the curtain.
Calm down, ego. He's not talking about you. Calm down. See, I gotta calm him down.
I'm talking about him. I just said the word, but the egos in wrestling can get, pretty big, and they'll come out to the ring if they hate you, and they'll make your life as a referee, for lack of better term, a living hell out there. They won't break the 5 count. They won't stop when you disqualify them. They just, they take a mind of their own. Have you ever had anybody do that on you?
Yes, sir, I have one time. I ain't gonna say no names because I'm not gonna put them over. I just basically stepped in front of them. I grabbed my shirt, looked at him, says, "Hey, I'm a ref. We can either do this now or we can go out back." And I just stepped aside and show was done. Nothing else was said about it.
I think Brandy's saying this to Ego, but she's saying he's such an egotistical ass. I mean, I had to say it that way, but wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting in trouble in the background. Wesley, who are these clowns again? Come on, man. Who are you, Wesley? Who are you?
Wesley. Who are you? Where you been? And what have you done?
Right. Oh my goodness, man. Uh-oh. Deanna said clowns? I think the family's starting to get mad now.
Oh, we ain't getting mad. We're having fun.
Oh, that's it. That's it. So, oh my goodness, man. There's so many things you can ask a referee, but you've already answered a lot of them. So I don't know, man. Who all out there is watching that wants to ask a question? We get great questions from the fans, but tonight, I don't know. There's not a lot of people asking questions, and I don't know why. Maybe the storms have knocked out their electricity or something. I have no idea, but I know those young ladies out there have a lot of questions they could ask, but they know better than I do.
You're on the right track there. I know you're married and happy.
Oh yeah, 12 great years, brother. I ain't gonna lie.
There you go.
Every day it gets better.
There you go. Family's everything, man.
We give each other the business, but every day it gets better.
There you go.
She lets me do this, so I can't complain. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I can't get into wrestling. I've got medical problems of my own.
Well, brother, you're in it now. You're in it.
I wish I could be in the ring, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. I would love to be in the ring.
Have you ever set one of them things up?
I haven't done it personally, but I've watched while they've done it.
So you know what's underneath that, right?
Oh yeah, I know the whole shooting shebang. I've seen more than one ring put together and taken down.
And you really want to bump on that?
Why not? I mean, seriously, when I was younger, I played sports. I played baseball, I played football, I played basketball. I mean, like you said, there's no greater feeling than hearing your name chanted, the crowd getting hyped when you do something awesome. I mean, I know what that feeling is like, but I would have loved to have done it in a wrestling ring, because like growing up, wrestling was like my number one thing, and then there's baseball and then other sports. But man, wrestling. When I saw wrestlers growing up, man, they were bigger. They were bigger than anything. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage. Jake the Snake.
I'm going to state this out. If Magnum TA had not had his wreck and shortened his career the way it did, I'm going to tell you hands down, in my opinion, there would not be no Hulk Hogan because it would be straight up Magnum TA, period.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I'm just telling you how who the first guy that caught my eye growing up wasn't even Hulk Hogan anyway. It was, I grew up watching Continental Championship Wrestling back in the day. My favorite tag team was the Nightmares, Danny Wayne and his partner. And man, I couldn't tell you the times I recorded on VHS Continental Championship Wrestling and watched them guys
Right.
over and over and over. I just love watching them. They were one of the greatest tag teams ever. Deanna,
Oh, yeah.
Road Warriors. Now, the Road Warriors were good, too. The only thing that I didn't like about the Road Warriors was everywhere they went, they had to be put over. I don't think they lost more than a handful of times during their whole career, and that's the only thing I didn't like about them.
Well, the Road Warriors, well, I do got a story about the Road Warriors.
Okay. With it, man.
Me and my brother, we was just little boys, and, NWA come to Asheville. And I got another story about Asheville, and when you talk about it, we're gonna talk about this too.
Okay.
They'd come to Asheville Civic Center, and me and my brother, we told our parents that we was gonna go to the bathroom. Well, we found the elevator. We got on the elevator, went down one floor, and there stood Hawk and Animal. Now, at that time, I was maybe 7, 8 years old, and my younger brother.
Oh, wow. So you did this number.
Huh? Yes.
So you did this number.
Yeah, leaning in the back part against the wall on the elevator. So yeah, and they got on. Man, they was cool, but dang, they was intimidating as all get out. They actually walked us back to where we were sitting, and nobody knew who they was because they had their little bandana and everything like that, and had shades on. They didn't have face paint or nothing, and we didn't know who they was until they spoke.
Wow.
So yeah.
That would have been totally awesome, man. I didn't get to meet any of the wrestlers. Very few wrestlers that I ever get to come close to. But I finally got to meet the Rock and Roll Express. I did a short interview with them.
And dude, brother, you done awesome on that. You done awesome on that interview.
Yeah, I saw them wrestle down in Mississippi when I lived down there. I was like fifth row center at one of the centers they did down there, and I'll never forget it. It was the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Rockers, and man, it was a blast. I'll never forget the match, man. Never. When you see two, tag teams that are going to the Hall of Fame, you'll never forget those kind of matches.
Right.
Brandon said those clouds above you are looking really ugly, homie. Yeah, I'm looking for a typhoon to come out of the clouds above you, man. It's really dark up above you.
Hey, man, just like I said, we're going to ride it till it falls out.
Are we still talking about the show?
Oh, yeah, we're talking about everything.
So who is the biggest star you've ever rode to a show with?
Rode to the show with? Yeah. Oh, my God.
Who's the biggest name that you could throw at me that you literally rode to a show with and you reffed and they performed?
No lie?
No lie.
Me.
I love it. Now that's
hey,
not.
brother, I'm on that tag too.
That's just a
hashtag. I mean, me. I mean, the way I look at it, there's no bigger star. I don't care about the big names. You got to show the stars the ring. Right. That's it. You can't have a show without a ring, and everybody's a star. It depends on how you're going to carry yourself. It's I've been up and down the road with guys like Chad Bird, which naturally was my trainer. When you're being trained by somebody, you go and do whatever they tell you to do.
Right.
Always listen to your trainer.
Right.
Let's see. Up and down the road. Honestly, the biggest star that I've ever been traveling to a long distance is not a wrestler.
Who was it? Throw the name out there, man.
Tuffy Banner.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my best friend with the PBR Touring Pro Division. He was a bull rider.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that, man.
And actually a part of wrestling.
Nice. Actually, my wife wants to go to they're having a rodeo up in my area here Saturday night. She wants to go up there. So this will be her first rodeo. So she's gonna love going there. But I've got a question to ask you. It just popped into my head. You've never been a pro wrestler, correct?
No, sir. Never got trained to wrestle. I got trained to be a ref.
So if you were a wrestler, what would be your gimmick? If you decided back then instead of refereeing, that you wanted to be a wrestler, what would your gimmick have been?
Well, first of all, I'd have to be a heel. I'd sort of kind of mix it in between a Dusty Rhodes type thing to a Black Bart, where I'd be able to come out spitting tobacco, and Bruiser Brody and all those guys, just get out there and get your butt whooped and whoop some butt too.
Brand, you said you'd be Ego Jr.
No, I'd be better. And Ego's like, right?
What? Tell Ego before we go to come over here and cut a promo on his next wrestler, on his next opponent. I'd love to see him cut a promo on Hashtag Truth.
Brother, Ego can hear you, so you let him know whenever you're ready for him.
Come on, man. Let's do it.
Really cool. Last time we went to a time limit draw, and everybody says, you would have won the match, but the time ran out. Then you asked for 5 more minutes. But you didn't get 5 more minutes. I gave you 20. That's what you got. Now we're going to have a match with a no time limit draw. But yet again, you will come up short, just like you did last time. And I will still be the MWF World Heavyweight Champion. And I think that's really cool.
I love it. He even put I'm pretty sure that's in his gimmick, right? So he just threw it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. So tell me the Asheville story, man.
Well, I pretty much crowned at the Asheville Civic Center at a NWA wrestling show. It was Ric Flair and Wahoo McDaniel. And my mom went into labor, and I guess I just wanted to watch the match. I pretty much crowned at Asheville Civic Center at a NWA wrestling show. And before they left the building, she must have hiccuped or something, and out I come.
So you were actually born at a wrestling match.
That's what I've been told. Yes, sir. I've been told by my mom. I've been told by my grandparents and my whole family. Yes, sir.
That's a sign, brother. That's a sign that you need to stay in the wrestling business.
I'm going to try my best. I may not have to be in the ring, but, as long as I can stay in it and help promote and carry on, and that's all I can ask for.
Okay, I got a question for you. Hypothetically, you're running your own organization. You're running your own wrestling organization. Ego is your champ. Who would be the wrestler you'd put up against? Who would you put up against Ego for his MWF championship if you were the one running the show?
No hesitation.
No hesitation. Now, see, that's hitting below the belt, brother, because she knows everything.
No, honestly, it really depends on what type of storyline I have out there. and who's on the roster, he would be my company's champion. So I'd want to be able to take care of him, but also take care of the other guy. It just really depends on the situation on who I would have facing him. Would it be just any Joe off the street? No, sir. I'd have to have a storyline. I'd have to have something to draw the fans in. Because if I'm going to put my champion out there, I want it to be a big show. Make them happy.
See, that's the kind of match they need to do at AEW. I don't know if you follow AEW or not, but
yes,
Brandy Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, man. If Brandy Rhodes ever got that mad at Cody Rhodes and went into that ring, could you imagine the things she could do to that guy? She knows everything about him, man.
Well, brother, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't no way in the world you can put me and my wife in that ring.
Okay.
That's me, man, because she'd hurry up and grab that microphone. She'd grab that microphone and make it a no disqualification match before the bell even rang, and then I'd be running. That's all I could do is run.
Yeah. And Armory's got at least 4 doors to the exit, and I'm going to find one of them.
Right? Felix. How you doing, Felix? Brandon.
Come in a little late, didn't you?
Brandon Davis said, me. What promotion will you ref at? He is no longer refereeing, but Felix, he is going to be training referees. So I know
just referees. I'm a ref, not a worker, so I ain't going to.
Right. If anything ever happens to your wrestling career, Felix, and you want to fall back on refereeing, man, this is the guy to get trained with right here. But right now, you are a star of 5 count. 5 count. Listen to me. My head is on 5-star district. So don't worry about it, man. Your career is going up, up, and up, man.
That's right. Believe it.
And that's it. Oh, man. Brother, we have been here an hour. It has been great. It has been so much fun. I appreciate you being on the show, your whole family. Anytime you want to come back and tell stories with me, man, the sky's the limit, brother, because this was a lot of fun. Ego, I know you're out there listening somewhere. Get a hold of me, man. Let's do a show with Nothing But You on it, too. I'd love to have you on here. Send me that poster, and I won't say if, I'll say when you defend that championship, man, get a hold of me. I'll put you on #truth all by yourself, man. Because this was awesome. I appreciate Arthur letting you come on. Also, the whole family. Let me see if I can go through the names. Deanna, Brandy. The son.
Well, let me say this. The 10th of, what's the address?
508 Harris School Road.
508 Harris School Creek.
Harris Creek. Howard's Creek. School Road.
Howard's Creek Road, Lincoln, North Carolina. You want to come and see Ego? Hey, you never know. I might just pop up.
All right, man. I'll sure tell you. Boy, it's been fun. But, man, I'm going to cut you guys loose. I've got to go do my honey-do list now because it's already 8 o'clock, and I'm an old-timer. My bedtime's in about an hour, so.
Well, I appreciate what you're doing, brother. You keep doing it.
Anytime, and you let your family know that I appreciate them, and I appreciate you coming on the show. I appreciate Ego, everybody. And who knows, one of these days I might get one of the wives to come on the show and tell the real #truth. How about that?
You get it on.
Go with me.
You book it, and we'll go.
Hi.
On that cue, I'm going to say goodnight, you guys. You guys have a good
day. Thank you very much.
Don't take